Hello. Well, here we are.
Well, here we are now. Entertain us.
Here we are now. Entertain us.
A mosquito, my libido.
I forgot the rest.
I did too.
An
albino? What do I
know? Hello, welcome. I guess I got my weekend water.
I suppose. Welcome to Stay F. Homekins. This is
our
a podcast. My name is Paul F. Tompkins.
My name is Janie Haddad Tompkins.
I'm a comedian.
I'm an actress.
We are a married couple living in Los Angeles, and this is our after dinner podcast.
Guess what? We had dinner. Now we're doing a podcast.
We're as good as our word.
Oh my God, the lights changed again.
See, I'm not mad. You said I was mad, but I'm not mad.
I didn't. Why is it doing that?
All right, so we have
a ghost in the machine.
We have a ghost, literally a ghost in the machine.
We have a ghost in the machine.
Was that a song?
I don't know.
We have a ghost in the machine.
I was still trying to be like, my libido.
There's a ghost in the machine. Get him out of there and make it clean. Get out, ghost. You're messing up the wires. They missed it. Why didn't they do that?
I don't know. Guys, that was a little nod to the B-52s if you're unfamiliar.
Yes, an homage.
Are you unfamiliar?
I hope you're not unfamiliar. They're great.
Oh my God. I was obsessed when I was in middle school. It's weird that I knew of them then because...
Why did you know of them then?
Came to learn about them much later after they'd been around for many, 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 many years. Yeah. I guess I was just into retro. You know? So like about, 20 years ago when I was in middle school.
I first encountered them when I was very little. I'm
kidding.
I remember seeing them... I remember seeing them on SNL, like the original SNL.
Really?
And they were... they were blowing my mind.
Oh,
like,
I bet.
Who are these weirdos?
I feel... They
kind of scared me.
Like, I'm literally having deja vu. Like, maybe we talked about them on this podcast before.
We probably have. I wouldn't be surprised.
I found them. Some like girl in the neighborhood had the eponymous album, and I was like, "This is the best thing I've ever heard in my life." Like, I love that album still to this day.
Yeah,
I actually think it's like a very solid album.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
It's rock solid.
It's rock solid.
It's Rock Lobster.
It's Rock Lobster, which is on the album. So here we are now, Entertain Us, and this is our conversation podcast. Maybe you've heard of us. Maybe you haven't. Guess what? I don't know how you got here if you haven't.
It would be very weird.
Do you?
We are we're just finishing up the second week of the Writers Guild strike here in
Day
Los
11.
Angeles.
Day 11.
Day 11.
Okay.
Well, it'll be day 10.
No, today was day 11, apparently.
How could it be day 11?
I don't know. That was what people told me. Because it started last week.
Yeah, but it's a 5-day-a-week thing.
What?
They pick it Monday through Friday.
But it was started on a Tuesday.
Is that true? It started on a Tuesday?
Yeah. Because it was midnight on Monday the night before
then
when
this
they
is
called.
Day 9.
Oh, they're counting weekends.
They're counting the weekends?
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
got to be what it is.
All right. I personally don't count the weekends, but okay.
I get it, though. Like, if you're on a production, you might work over the weekend.
Yeah, Friday, so forth.
Yeah, it's day 11, apparently. I don't know. My brain is fried. All right, here's the deal. So, I don't know. We sometimes get to work in the entertainment industry.
We are adjacent to the entertainment industry.
We're
like substitute teachers. What? Absolutely everyone else is busy?
What? Another Deadline article about someone I absolutely wish the best for. 100%. This is a little peek behind the curtain, huh? Isn't it cute?
We're being sassy and snarky.
We're being
for fun.
funny. We're being funny about
we're being funny. You like it and you like us.
So we're in this freaking entertainment industry, supposedly. And I guess I guess I'm just going to break it down. The only reason I'm going to break it down is because I've like made posts about, well, first of all, they call it the sister union, only now I think we say sibling union. Mm-hmm. Although they still saying sister union, that I'm in the sister union. So I'm in the sister union. I say sibling union. Whatever. I don't know what it is. It's the Screen Actors Guild. It's SAG-AFTRA, Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Radio and Television Artists. Mm-hmm. They merged, whatever, 11 years ago, and people were pissed.
I forgot about that. People were mad.
Well, I guess there were some real trade-offs in that merger. Mm-hmm. It messed with our health, whatever. I don't know. All I know is that people love the union, and they love to complain about the union.
Yes.
Those things 100% simultaneously exist hand in hand.
But one of the great things about unions is if you're a member of a union, you get to complain about the union. And nobody can tell you that you're wrong for complaining about it.
So anyway, Paul's a member of Writers Guild, and I'm member, and SAG-AFTRA. I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA.
And Actors Equity.
Oh, yes. I'm also in Actors Equity, but I don't know why I'm in that.
I think it's cool that you're in Equity.
I've never really worked under, a big equity contract. I've only ever worked on, the teensiest equity contract that, whatever. The whole reason I even joined was so I could audition for equity when I lived in New York. But, now, I'm when am I ever going to need to be on Actors Equity again?
Never know.
I would love to work on stage in New York someday, but, not really, things aren't really going that way for me right now. So
not right now, but you never know.
I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm breaking it down only because people have been a lot of people have been so nice. Oh my gosh, I hope artists get respect and fair pay and blah, blah, blah. And then every now and then there's some freak online that's you're idiots. There's other things going on in the world. Oh, really? Is there? I didn't know. Is there a war in Ukraine? Is the Sudan in trouble? What? Oh, I guess I didn't know. I only care about one thing.
Exactly.
I only care about one thing.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who say things like that because it's well, then you could say that about any old thing. If I if I were to post, and I do a lot, or at least I used to on Twitter, but about gun control, and I hate the whole situation with the gun stuff in America right now because we're the minority rule stuff, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, and then so if I post something about that, then anyone could be "Oh, you don't care about the writers' fight for."
Well, no one's ever going to say that.
There's other stuff going on.
Never going to happen. But what's funny is
I'm ugh, it's so annoying.
The whole thing about there's other stuff going on is I've felt that way too when I've seen somebody post about something that I don't think is as important as X, Y, or Z. But I don't
do you say anything?
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, of course not.
Why not? It would be so helpful to the other things going on. I'm just kidding.
Everyone is entitled to have that thought, of course. But it's it's so stupid to say, I care about this other thing I deem more important than the thing that you care about. And it's also if you are a person going on strike, it's that's not
even for you to care about. You don't even have to care about that.
Exactly.
Because guess what? You're not in the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If you're getting evicted from your apartment, I'm not going to say, why do you care about that when there's hungry people in the world?
I'll say this. If anyone trolls me and they come at my post, and because I was just with Aaron today and he got one of those
Aaron Ginsberg, strike captain.
Captain, my captain. He was like, oh, they just posted on my thing, but the unhoused or whatever. And I was like, all right, if anyone comes after me like that online, I'm literally going to go to their page. If it's not solid like years
Right.
long posts
Yeah.
about fighting for the unhoused,
Right.
then I'm going to go on every single post, every single one. I mean, and I'm just going to be like, I don't care about your birthday with your brother. The Sudan is in, like there's like a civil war, or I don't care.
You know what you should do instead? This is my suggestion.
Uh-huh.
Every post that's about the unhoused, say, what about the birthday with your brother?
Or just the Sudan.
Your brother's not that important anymore?
I'm just going to go on each one and say, the Sudan, the Sudan,
The Sudan,
the Sudan,
sure.
the Sudan. Anyway, whatever.
I had somebody once, when I was doing Spontaneous Nation, which was a podcast that I did for a while. It was an improv podcast, and so I would have 4 guests per show. And every once in a while, the guest would be all white, which I tried to avoid happening. But sometimes people drop out and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Scheduling people for things sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Sure.
And so there was a guy that did not follow me, but every time he saw a picture that I posted a picture with just white people in it, he would say, wow, it looks like a lot of white people. And I'm like, where are you on the other pictures?
Right.
I'm trying, dude.
And he doesn't even follow you?
No.
So how would he find that post?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, well, I don't know. I
was
can't
really
answer.
weird.
I can't answer. All I know is like, so then, people even, so anyway, okay, so in the sister unions, we have been asked to support our sibling laborers
That's right.
on the line in the fight, so we have been, we go and support, and then they would like us to post photos, post the photos, use specific hashtags. We've been requested that this is like, get loud, get noisy about it. And
keep it visible.
Yeah. So that's what's been happening. So there has been a lot of like, you're not entitled to be a paid artist. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyway, you're in the union. You fight for these wins for 90 years. Then the corporate overlords come and do a little 3-card Monty on ya. They come out and they say, oh, you want money for being in these little, what are these? These so-called internet little shorts? These little webisode thingamabobs? Those are newfangled. These newfangled webisode thingamabobs. Oh, okay, we'll give you a little bit of money for that. We'll give you $100. Yeah, you have to be paid $100. Sure, it lives in perpetuity online, and someone's making money in ad revenue.
It lives in perpetuity online unless we decide to get rid of it.
Right.
So when the streaming stuff happened,
Wait, yeah, but that is...
like years ago, it was new media.
So yeah, this was the deal that was made with the double. They're like, oh, your little cute webisodes. Yeah, here's the contract. You get like a couple dollars.
Yeah.
And then, but they knew...
And no residuals.
They like knew somehow that like traditional television model was dying and that streaming was going to be the big thing. So then they turned on the money hose to make all this content, create a library off the backs of working artists, paying them $100 once to own it. They own it.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to like... And so we got really kind of fleeced in these negotiations.
We got shafted, yeah.
The actors, the writers, I don't know how the directors get paid. They do their own thing, apparently.
No one knows.
They're also directors are also producers, so they're kind of like weirdly. It's like a weird conflict of whatever. So, it was like time to kind of course correct, and the writers went into this negotiation and said, we'd like to course correct this clearly,
It's not new media anymore.
Yeah, this is Prestige. We're getting you Emmys.
Everybody has it in their homes. The CEOs are getting these gigantic bonuses and salaries. So let's change this deal. Let's make this deal more equitable.
And they were like, no.
Yeah, can't do it. Sorry. And then even with AI, the scariest thing is they said, we don't want to be replaced by AI. And the producers said,
no.
I mean, we'll talk about it every year. We'll talk about new technology once a year. We'll have a little sit down about it.
They said it was like, we'll just talk about the advancements. We won't do anything about whether or not we're going to use it to hose your paycheck.
We'll revisit this every year and see like what is happening now in technology.
And it was like, these are only 3 years. This is what's so crazy. So this is what you're seeing now. So the writers asked for these things, which are pretty reasonable. They're not really huge raises. Also, there's inflation. I don't know if you saw in the news recently, but senior citizens are getting totally screwed because the increases in Social Security have not been at pace with the cost of living and inflation.
Yeah.
And so essentially, senior citizens are getting like a demotion essentially on the money that they put into society to collect at the end of their lives.
Yeah. Coupled with the price gouging that happened as a result of quarantine, as a result of COVID.
Yes.
Which, these companies are still making tons of money, and yet the prices are remaining at COVID levels.
Yes.
And everybody's just fucked.
And it's like, and I don't know, some people probably don't even know this, but senior citizens, all of us, when we start collecting Social Security, we get taxed on that money. You pay taxes on them. Anyway, the point is that because of inflation, because of the cost of living in these big cities, blah, 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 the writers asked for a pay bump. And it was not an unreasonable pay bump.
No.
Also because the way that these companies are getting around how they're hiring writers and paying like whatever they think is full price, they've started like shortening the contracts and hiring less people for they're just exploiting. I mean, let's be honest. They are 100% exploiting the loopholes of the previous contract.
Yeah.
The writers want to correct it. Mm-hmm. They want to point out that it's making for harder working conditions and lower pay, and also that it's not making quality television. That they're that they're actually eroding the quality of the product. Mm-hmm. So there's sort of like saying this is like a win-win. Like if you put some money, if you invest a little bit in this, you're going to get better quality. But I think all they care about is quantity in some cases. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what happened. So the writers asked for this, and they were like, no. Because they have this like, well, I won't say who, but there's this woman who's the head of the negotiators for the other side is apparently a nightmare person and says like really insensitive things and doesn't.
But these things are on the record, right?
Yeah, she's like, writers are lucky to have term contracts at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, really? What's your... She worked for this company for 20-something years. Yeah. Like, well, you're lucky that you haven't been replaced by AI, you fucking whatever. So anyway, so they called for a strike. There has not been a strike of the writers since 2007. The last strike lasted 100 days. And I guess something... So now the directors have gone into their negotiation, and us actors start our negotiation on June 7th. There's a big member meeting tomorrow morning. I'm going to zoom into that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think it would be unprecedented for all three to be on strike at the same time. A lot of people say the directors really do just like cut their own deal, or whatever. Yeah. And I guess the last strike, from what I understand, and I was here when it happened, and I kind of vaguely remember this. The reason it got resolved is a lot of the producers, instead of negotiating under this one umbrella entity head by this terrible person, Carol Lamborghini, you can look her up. they started...
What's her name? Lombardini?
The producers started cutting their own deals outside of that institution with the writers.
We were talking about like Letterman.
Yeah, so like Letterman had like his own production company, Worldwide Pants. And Cuckoo wants to get in on the strike talk.
Cuckoo, I hope you're not a scab.
Cuckoo.
I hope you're not a scab,
You
Cuckoo.
crossing the line, Cuckoo? Cuckoo?
Don't tell anyone the time except us. Don't tell producers the time.
Don't tell. So anyway, like I guess he had his own production company, and so he was able to cut a deal with the writers and get them back to work on his show. Mm-hmm. And I guess there's been some like rumors going around now that some of the so-called legacy studios might cut a deal with the writers. Mm-hmm. Like supposedly Bob Iger at Disney has been like calling around trying to like cut some deal with the writers, which I think makes sense because like the legacy studios are getting hurt by this, whereas Apple, Amazon, they have other streams of revenue, that can keep them going. So they don't really care. They're just a bunch of tech douche bros that are like, I don't care if anti-union, Elon or whatever the fuck, these type of mentality. Mm-hmm. Whereas this guy's been around for a gazillion years and he's seen the writing on the wall and he's probably like, it's not that big of a raise. It's only like a 2% raise or something. And he's like, and I guess the Andor showrunner just like shut down the show for the strike because he got called a scab. You know
who got called a scab as well is Ken Jennings. Went to host Jeopardy.
Oh, that's right, because Mayim Bialik walked away. She didn't want to cross the line because the Teamsters probably run their show. And,
that's right.
Well, anyway, so this is what's been going on. So people who are kind of like, I don't get it, or like, what, why are you doing this? It's like complicated. Like I can't explain all of the ways that these contracts work. There are people who study this for years. There are people who go to like entertainment law school classes and agents who understand and are up on this stuff.
But basically it boils down to this. I think a lot of people from the outside, if you're not in this industry, of course it looks like a bunch of rich people saying we want more money. And the fact of the matter is, like with any other occupation, some people are very rich in that occupation and some people are not. And
there's a middle class in Hollywood. We don't want the middle class to go away, just like in other industries.
Yes.
And we have the benefit of being in a union. That's I mean, look, I wish more industries had bargaining power, organizing power. Mm-hmm. I'm very pro organizing.
Yes. We're a pro-union household.
But it's like, I can't help it. This is a very like unionized town. This town is very unionized, and it has been historically for a long time.
For sure.
So anyway, we were laughing about the Bob Iger stuff because we were like today. I'm really punchy because I've been out there like every day on helping my strike captain friends, but like, well, you know how like on J6 they had a noose outside and they were like hang my fence.
Yeah.
And we were like, we should get like a giant mouse trap and put it outside of Disney and be like, trap Bob Iger, trap Bob Iger. And then we like sing. We were like just like laughing and all this stuff. But anyway, this is a story I was saving for the podcast that I was going to tell you.
This is exciting. This is an exclusive. I'm not even aware of this story.
Because I was about to tell it to you during dinner, and I was like, oh, I should probably just tell it on the podcast. So some of the work of the organizing revolves around going to the studios and picketing and creating picket lines in front of the gates, because Teamsters historically don't cross picket lines.
Yeah.
And so if you can create a line, they won't cross it, But the studios are like, well, we have these like 4 gates that are just for like the mailman and,
neutral gates.
They're called neutral gates. Yeah. It's just for like, someone to deliver the lunch or whatever. Well, that's not true because they've just funneled all the production trucks to those neutral gates. And if they can prove legally that production is going on through those gates.
If the strikers can prove it.
If the strikers, the WGA can prove it, then they can legally form a peaceful protest, picket line
yes.
Around that gate.
Yeah.
And in order to prove it, you have to observe those gates, take photographs of the trucks coming and going. And so they station volunteers at neutral gates to record the activity to send to the WGA lawyers.
Yeah, these are people with no signs. They're not chanting.
They're just
hanging out near the
observing.
gates,
They're not even on the studio property. They're across the street or on the corner. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing this because, and my friend Catherine too, I'm sure if you've listened to her podcast, a 3-minute review, which we've talked about on here.
I'm jealous of all the shout outs you get on that podcast.
I get so many shout outs on that podcast. God. It's like, and so.
It's like I don't even exist.
So we've been like trained to do this. And like, so I've gotten to a point now where like I show up to observation duty with
Can we say that when you say we've been trained to do this,
that's what they call it.
I know they call it that. It's not like a boot
it's like
camp
it's a
that you
10-minute
go to.
it's a 10-minute training.
If that. 10 minutes. That's very generous.
I was trained to do it. And so I now
Are you still in touch with your buddies from training?
I have collected so many phone numbers in the past 11 days. It's not even funny. Like there's like this one guy I made friends with on the line. He doesn't want to be friends with me, I don't think, but I'm making him kind of. He's like real old school and like from New York and kind of grumpy. His name's Chip. And the day I met...
I think Chip wants to be friends with you.
I will say the day I met him, he's like, what's your name? I was like, I'm Janie. And he's like, that was my mom's name. I hate that name.
Oh my God. You didn't tell me that.
Oh, I didn't tell you? And then like later, like I saw him another day.
God.
And I was like, so what's the deal? Like you really do hate it, that name? He's like, yeah. I was like, so you didn't have a good mom? He's like, no. And he's like, my whole family's fucked up or whatever. And I was like, really? I was like asking him all these questions. And he's telling me about his uncle who was in World War II. I know all this stuff. But they like go to the smokehouse after for like martinis.
The smokehouse is like a legendary
iconic
Hollywood hangout. It's
across from Warner Brothers Studios.
Across from Warner Brothers Studios.
And it's been there for how long?
Forever.
Like it's like probably as old as the unions.
Maybe. It's been there for a long time.
It's like old school, like leather banquettes, like,
steakhouse kind of
steakhouse vibes. I think there's TVs behind the bar now.
So. They have a nice big bar that you can very easily see people.
I'm like dying to like go to Smokehouse with Chip after.
Because that first day that we did the spying.
Yes. Chip
after
was
we were
going.
done. Yeah, Chip said, I'm going to go to now I'm going to go to the Smokehouse and get very drunk.
Yes, and I was like, I want to go. And I was like, Paul, can we go? And we had to do something the next morning or something. And you were like, no. And
or that night. I can't remember.
Yeah, there's that. And I was like, I can't go. He's like, don't worry, I'm going to go like every night or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I finally made him give me his number. And I haven't I don't think I've texted.
Should I be worried about this?
he's literally a boomer and I'm here for it. So anyway, today, I was like observing with a new person. Oh, so my whole thing is
a rookie.
No, she knew. We just hadn't been paired together.
Right.
And but I guess you're right. She was a rookie because I showed up with chairs, like folding chairs. So like I know now, like carry the chairs.
Because the first day we did it, we were literally sitting on the ground
on sidewalk. Yeah. And then I was also like observing with my new observer buddy Craig, who's a vet, and he had chairs, like green chairs. Like that blended into the woods or whatever.
Blended into the woods.
He's like, I'm a vet. He's like, I'm going to be here every fucking day. I'm going to get, he like told Aaron, he was like, give me a
Wait, sorry. He's a vet of doing this or he's an actual veteran?
He's an actual vet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's like a crazy Texan.
Right.
And at first I was like, I don't know about this guy because I walked out and he's like, hey, sweetheart, pull up and here, sit your, get yourself a da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, I don't know who you are. And by the end, I'm like, okay, what's your phone number? I want to. He's like, got a movie coming out. I was like, I can't wait to see your freaking movie. Like, I was like, he was telling me stories about growing up in this fucking podunk town in Oklahoma and like encountering racism for the first time. And we just like I've got the guy's life story and I've been texting with him. Anyway, no, he's like a vet. He told Aaron, he's like, give me a couple guys, I'll take down that gate. He's like, we'll have that gate flipped to the WGA by the end of the week or what, whatever. And I was like, I like this guy. So anyway, today I was like paired with Justine, and she was awesome and lovely. And but I brought my chairs, and she was like so freaking grateful because she was standing like on the corner, and I was like, oh no, girl, I got you. I got these chairs. I brought you some snacks from the sign-in, and I'm like debating whether or not to talk about my new glasses, but
I think you have to now.
Do you think it's okay?
I think it's okay.
Okay. But I really want to get to the part of what happened today that I didn't get to tell you. But I want to talk about the glasses first.
Let's talk about the glasses after the break. Tell the story now. And then that'll be a little tease to go.
Oh, okay, for the glasses. Okay. So we were like, it was the end of our shift, and I wanted to put the chairs in the car because I kind of didn't want the second shift to see the chairs and think that they were for them.
Well, I mean, you could disabuse them of that notion by putting them in your car.
That's why I was doing it.
But I mean,
not in front. I didn't want to do it in front of them.
Right.
I didn't want them to understand that they could have had chairs and then they were taken away.
Well, they could have had chairs if they brought them.
That's a good point, but
but they didn't.
No.
And so
anyway,
that's how you learn.
So I was like, I'm going to put these chairs before the relief comes because I don't. Well, we could just tell them like it helps to bring chairs. I don't want them to see the chairs, think they were theirs, get across the street, and then I'm like, and I'm taking these chairs.
Wow, that's
nice to meet
nicer
you.
than I would have been.
Nice to meet you, and I'm taking my chairs.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm trying to get the things so I'm folding them up, and I'm like loaded down with the chairs on the corner, and some lady pulls up to the traffic light. And I'm like loaded down those chairs, and Justine's there with her clipboard, and I'm about to walk to the car, and the lady rolls down her window, and she's like, "So what is it?" So like, what is it all that's going on here? Like pointing down to the picket line and pointing to us, and like because she's probably been driving by it now for 2 weeks, and we're like, "Oh, it's the Writers Guild are on strike," and she's like, "Oh, so like." And then she starts saying stuff, and like I can't hear so good, and I hear the word Illuminati, and then I was like, "Wait, I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, and I'm like, what?" And she's like, "So like it's about the Illuminati and like how Hollywood is run by a cabal or something." I don't know what she was saying, and I was like, I think so. I think so. I think so. It's about like I
think so.
I was like, it's about like a contract and like wage fairness, like a fair economy or something. And then and she was like, because you know who they are and what they do or something. And I was like, no. And I'm like holding these chairs really hot, and I don't want the people, And I was like, no. And she's like, because they worship Lucifer.
Oh,
and I was like,
wow.
oh. And I was like, well, okay. Cool, like freedom of religion. I don't know about all that. And she's like, it's not a religion. It's, and I'm like, oh my God, lady. So like, I started walking I was like, I'm done. Like, I can't, And so like, so I put him in the car and came back, and then the light did turn green, and she had to go. And I was like, Justine, what was that? And she was like, she was like, oh, she's saying how like, I guess like Hollywood is run by like child, like something.
Did she mention that, or did she just talk about the devil worship?
The
devil worship thing seems so old fashioned to me.
It was hard to understand, but I didn't want to let her know like Lucifer is not real because she said it so confidently.
Yeah.
Like Lucifer is real.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I wanted to be like, do you mean like the Tom Capanos show? Because he did create a show called Lucifer.
How do you know the creator of Lucifer's name?
Oh, because I love Tom Capanos, because he created Californication, and Californication is...
The same guy who did Californication did Lucifer?
Yeah, apparently, well, because my friend Felicia, who's a fan of the podcast, she's buds with Tom Capanos and has worked with him for a long time. She even cast Californication, blah, blah, blah. I guess it was like one of those situations where I think he did create or develop the show, but wasn't on the show, like showrun it.
Right.
For like they pushed him out or he didn't like it or something.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those mailbox money situations of someone else was like running that show. But but I know who Tom Capanos is because I think Californication is a terrific pilot. Like if you're studying pilots, that is a really good pilot to watch.
Do you remember that?
It's a really fucking good pilot.
Lauren was on an episode of Lucifer.
Wait, Lauren was?
Yeah, I thought we watched it together. Did we not?
This is vaguely ringing a bell.
And we just kind of sped forward to her scene.
Wait, right? Was she a doula or something?
No. She was.
Oh, that was another show.
She was taken over by the spirit of Cain or Abel, something like that.
I don't think I watched it.
Okay.
Because I feel like
it's really funny.
Remember that?
It's worth trying to find again.
All right, so I'll talk about the glasses after these messages.
That's right. We're going to take a break. But also, one of the things we are striking for is more adrenochrome. Okay, we'll be right back.
Well, this episode of Stay of Homekins is brought to you by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is going to help you work with a therapist. And working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you. I should know. I continue to work with a therapist, and honestly, it has been life-saving. Paul also has worked with a therapist. When you feel empowered, you're more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. So if you're thinking of giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, it's flexible, it's affordable, and it's entirely online, kind of like how we all live our lives today. All you do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge, because sometimes finding the right therapist does take a little trial and error. That happened to me. So if you would like to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. I totally believe that therapy is something, if you have the means and the time and the openness and availability to therapy, I cannot endorse it more 100%. So please visit betterhelp.com/homekins to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/homekins. Thank you, BetterHelp.
On the mic, do an ad for a little Green Chef. Green Chef.
Green Chef.
It's time to talk about Green Chef, everybody. What is it? Well, let me tell you. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company that makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle. Ooh la la. Whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals, Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preferences.
They don't judge.
Fill up with protein-packed, I consider it our newest collection. Our newest collection of recipes fit for a high-protein dietary preference. Choose from 3 weekly menu items, each including at least 40 grams of protein per serving. You can expect a variety of satisfying and flavorful recipes. My mouth started watering is the problem.
Because Green Chef's yummy.
Flavorful recipes like Greek chicken salad with mint olive tapenade, enchilada spiced turkey bowls, and almond-crusted barramundi.
Yum.
Ooh, barramundi. Heart?
Oh, yeah.
Now choose from 50-plus weekly menu and market items with the option to mix and match meals from different dietary preferences in the same box without changing your plan. Order vegan one day, keto the next. Go crazy. Get everything you need at Green Chef's one-stop shop for quick breakfasts, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, that's where lunch comes in, and more you can easily add on to your weekly order. Craving more servings of a favorite recipe? Now you can double the portions in your weekly order with just one click. And Green Chef is offering more customizations than ever before. In addition to swapping protein in any meal that features chicken, beef, or salmon for USDA certified organic salmon for USDA. I'm going to start over. we're offering more customization than ever before. In addition to swapping protein in any meal that features chicken, beef, or salmon for USDA certified organic ground beef, USDA certified organic chicken, and wild-caught sockeye salmon, now you can also add chicken or fish to select vegan and veggie recipes each week for an added protein boost. I wish I'd picked a different bullet point. Eat well at lunchtime, too, with our 10-minute lunches. Each week's menu includes 2 convenient, low-prep, and nutritious lunch recipes ready in just 10 minutes. No cooking required.
Green Chef has got your back.
Yeah, man. Perfect for when you're on the go or pressed for time at the office. Unless you're in a severance-type office, then you don't even know if you are.
Green Chef. Meal kits. So chic.
You
Green
freak.
Chef.
So there you go. Green Chef has got your back. Go to greenchef.com/Homekins60 and use code Homekins60. That's Homekins60 to get 60% off plus free shipping.
Love it.
That is greenchef.com/Homekins60. Use code Homekins60 to get 60% off plus free shipping.
Get you them kits, y'all.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well. Thank you, Green Chef.
Thank you, Green Chef. We love you. I'm back.
And now... Oh, I'm back. Wow.
Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back too.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
What you
We're
might
back.
simply say we're back.
We're back.
So, okay, we have to hear about these glasses. We teased it in the first half.
I know. I did. I was hoping the second segment we could talk about other stuff, but I will say I did talk about the glasses.
I feel like the glasses falls under the category of other stuff.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Okay. So, this week, our friend Paget, she's on this show called Criminal Minds, and it's like on Paramount Plus or something, but they haven't resumed yet because of the writer strike or whatever. So, and she got like this gift basket from Paramount, and in the gift basket were these glasses that she was like, she's not very technological. I'm not being like, she would say this herself. She's not
it's not something that interests her.
She's not into tech. She knows I'm into tech. She was like, would you or Paul want these glasses? And I was like, what? Are you for real right now?
And are they Ray-Bans?
They're Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Okay.
She's like, do you want these Ray-Bans? Like, me and Steve won't use these because I guess they're not interested in tech like I am. And I was like, are you for real right now? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you bet your sweet little ass I want those glasses. And they are like, I guess they're called smart glasses. Mm-hmm. And they have capabilities
beyond those of mortal men.
They aren't just Ray-Ban sunglasses. They are Ray-Ban sunglasses.
And that's what they look like?
And they function like, but they are Ray-Ban sunglasses that can take photographs and record a video.
Yeah.
And play audio near your ears.
Can you take a phone call on them?
Yes.
Okay.
You can. Oh, it even said like Aaron Ginsberg has texted you. Da 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 da. And I was like, oh, because I didn't say read the text. You can set it so it'll read the text, but I didn't want people to hear what my texts are saying near my vicinity. And I was like, I fucking want those glasses so fucking bad. And she was like, great, I'm gonna bring them to your house. And I was like, all right. They're like unbelievable. They're super creepy because they're basically like, if you think right now that we live in a world where you might be able to achieve privacy or private moments out in public somewhere, you are deluded, number one, because that doesn't exist anymore. And number two, these smart glasses are really just like a precursor to this future where we're just recording each other like constantly all the time.
We're kind of there. It just makes it easier.
It's like a hands-free.
Yeah.
And like when you set it up there, they basically, it doesn't say these words, but it's like basically don't be creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let people know that you are photographing them.
Yeah.
However.
But it's for creeps.
It's for creeps, but it also like.
It's like when they would have those radar detectors that was like, this is just for, there was a friend of mine years ago, Dennis Horan, had a bit about radar detectors that they would say on the box, like, these are for amusement only.
These are like so you can tell if a cop is checking checkpoints.
Yeah. And the idea was like, oh, there's a cop over there. There's a cop over there. How amusing.
Well, I will say if I felt like I lived my life in danger of cops committing violence on me, I would have these glasses on 24/7 in a heartbeat.
Sure.
Like I would definitely drive with them. I would get prescription lenses and whatnot.
And you can get prescription lenses in them.
Well, sure.
They don't have to be
Ray-Bans.
sunglasses, right?
No.
They can be regular glasses.
Yeah. They
That's
can be
so
prescription
fucking weird.
sunglasses or they can be prescription regular glasses.
That's so weird.
Yeah. They come in like several frame styles. And
You're kind of selling me on these.
I'm telling you, I'm kind of blown
Just
away.
to have that weird secret?
Well, I will say this. If you're recording someone, there is an LED light that comes on in the corner of the glasses.
Okay.
So like now that I know this type of thing exists, I would probably be able to be attuned to somebody recording me with a pair of smart glasses.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
However, the photo is just a photo. But then people can take photos of you with their iPhone. People do it on airplanes all the time and record people melting down on airplanes all the time.
This is going to be so great for people who bootleg movies. All you do is
you can't record that long.
Put a little piece of tape.
No, you can only do 60-second
So you're
clips.
saying they might not be good quality bootlegs.
30-second clips or 60-second clips. You can't do like 2 solid hours. Yeah. So there's an app on your phone, and then you basically like sync it to the app on the phone, and it grabs all of your, material that you've recorded or captured, and then you can, move it to your whatever photo app you want or, stuff like that. So it's not like direct into your photos, like whatever, but it's
But you don't have to plug it's
all
glasses
wireless.
into the
whole
laptop
thing is
or
wireless.
whatever. Yeah, it's all wireless.
It's 100% wireless.
Yeah. So you demonstrated them for me.
Yeah, I
did. You let me try them out.
Yeah, I did.
And it was really wild because there was a podcast playing.
I was listening to a podcast when I was walking around.
The controls were very smooth. I was very surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to like AirPods or something where you touch, like it's touch sensitive kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Or you can dictate to it. These, I guess, are in partnership with Facebook. Ew. So the command is, hey, Facebook, as opposed to like... I know. I don't like that. I wonder if there's a place to change it. Like, hey, glasses. I'd like to say, hey, glasses.
Hey, glasses.
Hey, 4 eyes. My eyes are up here.
Hey, prosthetic eyes.
Anyway, I was just really like... I love them. I love them, and like I've been blowing people's minds with them. Like I'm obsessed. And if you're doing some neutral gate observing, it's not the worst thing in the world to just look like you're sunbathing and be like, oh, there's a truck. Click on your glasses.
Sunbathing in this beautiful spot.
By the way,
Burbank.
I'm literally like covered head to toe in material, so I'm not getting like sunburned or whatever.
I just like to sit here. Nothing suspicious about this at all. I just like to sit here.
I love sitting on this corner, just in the middle of the sidewalk. So just to pivot, what do you think about Dolly Parton's new rock and roll song? She dropped last night at the ACM Awards.
So we watched the ACMs last night.
What was your takeaway? I didn't love the format of the awards.
No, it was not my favorite country award show. As you know, as longtime listeners know, we are connoisseurs of country music award shows.
It was too arena-ish for me.
Yeah.
Like it didn't allow for like anything other than like huge arena shit.
Yeah, it was also like it didn't have a specific tone.
No, it didn't.
It didn't have a specific
It was
tone or
loud
vibe.
and noisy, and the design. No offense, I know it's very difficult to design like huge arena shows, but it was like all very like splashy, and all the fonts are like sold out shows.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood sold out, and it's like
And there was a lot of people yelling, hey, make some noise, Texas.
Yeah, it was like I liked seeing all of the country artists.
By the way, you never have to encourage Texas to make noise.
Also, by the way, I loved when they would talk about Nashville, and it was just like bone quiet. It was like they'd be like Nashville, da, 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 and there was like nothing, and they would say the word Texas. Oh my god!
Absolutely.
Okay.
But yeah, it was Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is such a strange person, right?
I mean, I think he's kind of neat.
I like him. I've
I like
liked
that
him.
he's like an artist. Like he does outside the box shit.
Absolutely. I think he's a weirdo, and I really like that about him.
Yeah.
I've liked him since he hosted SNL, and he was also the musical guest as Chris Gaines.
Oh, that is awesome.
But he was like funny in the sketches and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was that video. Was it when he joined Facebook or something? And he posted this video that was like, I'm so excited. I can't believe all the things we're going to do, and I want to share all this with you. It was so like
it was so pure.
Marshall Applewhite.
I don't know who that is.
Evans Gate guy. But I loved it. And at this award show, he was very much like that.
He was very, yeah.
You know, he would like take his hat off at random moments when he felt like he wanted to give respect to something.
Yeah.
And then Dolly Parton came out.
She did some dirty jokes.
She did some like surprisingly like
off color.
Not that they were off color was the surprising part, but that they were very direct. So there was this thing about Garth has this long wind up about how, you know, who's the GOAT of country music.
Oh, right.
And, you know, he
says all these men. He says all men.
All men, and then he says Dolly Parton. And then Dolly Parton
that's
comes out,
part of it, in a
and
way.
she has a goat.
In a wagon.
And, you know, it's that corny, but then she's talking about how, Garth, I heard that I'm the hall pass for you and your wife.
Yeah, and she's like, this is a threesome.
Yeah, I heard that GOAT actually stands for Garth. Garth organizes a threesome.
And it almost seemed like he didn't know about.
He seemed very
He
surprised.
either sold it. I think he had to have been selling it because surely they ran through that copy.
Mean, that was a great bit of acting then because he acted like it was the fucking first time.
Some country stars are really good actors.
Some are.
Like Sling Blade.
Dwight Yoakam.
Yeah. I thought was so good in that. Also, I think Lainey Wilson is a seriously killer actress.
She was great. We saw her on Yellowstone. She did a great job.
But also, like in her work.
Yeah.
Like she sells her performances.
Wait in the truck.
Oh, I fucking love that. I love that number.
We got to see our new.
But she was acting with Jelly Roll.
That's right. We got to see our new favorite guy, Jelly Roll.
And then in this Save Me song, and she was like, he was fucking crying. I mean, he's
great.
He's awesome.
He's great. Jelly Roll is great.
I don't like all of his music because some of it's like rappery or whatever. Nothing against that kind of music. That's just like.
That's not what you're looking for.
That's not what I'm looking for in country.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But there is a lot of crossover now, like with the hip hop and country.
Yeah. What's the one
stuff, and
name?
some of it's good, and some of it.
The guy who does Wait in the Truck with Lainey Wilson.
Oh, his name Hardy. Yeah. He looks like a Brooklyn dude or something, and then he comes out and he's all country, but he also has like a hip hop flavor to his music.
It was sort of Kid Rocky kind of. He did this performance, and then he took off his hat. He was wearing a ball cap,
and
like
it was like
hat.
metally. Then it turned like kind of metal or something.
Yeah.
When you say?
Yeah, well, that's why I said Kid Rock. It was like that's what it reminded me of.
Oh, right.
You know,
but we don't want to compare him to Kid Rock the person.
You don't want to compare anyone to Kid Rock the person.
That's what I'm saying. That's messed up.
But what was really funny was he took off his hat, and then there was like this crazy.
Was that supposed to be like that?
I don't think it was supposed to be like that.
It's like
so
when you go to
he
like
must have very fine hair.
It's like when you go to the kids museum and they touch the big globe and it makes
it was exactly like
that.
It
was like the kids.
Yeah, because when he was done, he like put his he brushed his hair back. Yeah. And it was like I think he realized it was happening. It was like that was not supposed to happen.
It was like standing straight.
It was
amazing.
Really funny. It was really.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, then at the end of they closed out the show with Dolly Parton debuting her first ever rock single from her new rock album that's coming out.
Right.
And so she comes out and she's on like this giant like pedestal thing, like, and she's surrounded by fabric that is the globe.
She's wearing a billowing skirt that is the globe.
And stretches.
It's on fire.
Yes, it's the globe on fire. And then she has this song. And then they rip it away, and there's all these like dancers underneath, and it's like a crazy, like it looks almost like a Super Bowl halftime style show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then she sings this song about
it was the biggest number of the night.
How the world is on fire, and it's like liar, liar, pants on fire.
The world on fire.
I do think it sounds like the theme song to Cops.
It does, because she said, "What you gonna do?"
Yeah, she's like, liar, liar, world on fire. What you gonna do when it all burns down? Yeah, and it's like, then she goes on this rant about like, the rant is basically like, you know, people killing people hating. Don't get me started on politics. How are we gonna fix this? You know, meanwhile, like, the globe is on fire. I assume it's about like climate change and capitalism.
It was about climate change, but it was also like people can't agree, they can't get along. And I had a weird.
I like it. It's got like grandparent.
Look, I like it because it's Dolly. You know
it's
what
grandparent energy.
It is grandparent.
It's grandparent energy.
It's woke grandparent energy.
It's woke grandparent energy, and I'm totally.
It really made me think.
It's fine. I like it.
It really made me think about protest songs because, you know, we historically there have been some songs that have become these anthems.
Yeah.
You know? And then this song, there was something about it that was just like, you're not really talking about anything specifically.
No, it's very.
You're just saying everything kind of sucks and people are being mean. What are you going to do?
It's tame.
Yeah, it's very tame. Yeah.
It's unspecific.
Yeah.
It's unspecific.
Yeah, it's just a general. Things are bad.
Things are fucking bad.
And I don't think that's good.
Right.
That was the theme of the song. Things are bad, and I don't think that's good.
I mean, yeah.
But she's fucking, how old is she? She's
77.
77.
It's her first rock song.
Did it really sound that much different than her other music?
I guess because they were like, ooh, ooh. Ooh, and they were doing like the crazy, like dancing, like the
they're
street,
sort of like industrial dancing,
like, sort of like, you know, like we're getting in formation or whatever, you know, like that or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay.
Like if you say so, that's how I felt about it. But it's also funny. Like, what is rock anymore?
What is country anymore?
Well,
I know what I think it is.
I know what I think. I know when I see it.
I know it when I fucking hear it. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I was like, I don't know. That's not really country. But like, it's not really country.
Who's considered a modern rock act these days?
What?
Who is considered like a rock and roll band or performer? Who would that be?
When you
today?
say like modern, you mean like
I mean not like the Rolling Stones. I mean like somebody who is a new artist, a current artist that plays rock music. Who would that be?
Well, rock is kind of vintage in a way, isn't it? Like the genre of rock is kind of vintage. Like, I don't think there's a lot of modern.
Yeah,
like
but
pop has pushed rock away.
True, but jazz is not a modern. You know, jazz is an old form, but there are modern jazz people.
Or bluegrass is old, and like there's new, like Billy Strings or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like
I can't.
God.
I mean, there's got to be somebody, but I can't think of anybody. I'm not up on that.
I'm not up on rock. I hear a lot more. Like if I hear new stuff, it's either like country or pop. Mm-hmm. I mean, like what? Like Billie Eilish is pop, right?
I would think so. Yeah, I don't think she would be classified as rock.
Yeah, like what kind of a band? Like even in the early 2000s, we still had rock, like Arcade Fire, and like Where are all those bands? Where are
That
the new versions?
That was almost like alternative, though. You would more label that alternative.
It would be all
alt rock, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. We got to look it up.
This is weird. You're kind of like blowing my mind.
Listen,
right
if
now.
you're listening, and I know you're tempted to get in the Insta comments or on the Substack and say, "Here's all the rock acts." We're gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I'd like to hear on the Substack.
Yeah, if you have to subscribe to our Substack to talk with us. Our Substack is called Weekend Water. You can subscribe and be a part of the conversation. We also post lots of updates there and our watch-alongs. Go there.
I want to say, I have a show this Sunday at
Yes.
Lodge Room.
Yes.
Varietopia this Sunday at Lodge Room.
Yes.
And,
if you're in Los Angeles, there's still a couple tickets
there's
left.
still some tickets left. But after it's been like a struggle to sell tickets because it is Mother's Day. And I think there's also Succession is happening.
Well, you got to fight the algos.
Got to fight the algos.
You get algos.
We posted on Substack about the show.
Which people probably had no idea.
And I think it made a big difference. We sold a bunch of tickets last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. After that post, we sold a bunch of tickets.
And I mentioned it to people, and they're like, "Oh, they had no idea."
Yeah.
There's people who are not seeing stuff.
Yeah. It's all the platforms are.
Speaking
fucked,
of
everybody.
country and shows, I did want to talk about, but I don't know if we can get super into it now. But I did attend Willie Nelson's 90th birthday.
2 nights in a row.
Guys, I had a midlife crisis. I'm having a midlife crisis. Let's just be honest. I know I'm only 35. It's so early for me. I don't know why I'm on estrogen.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't know why my doctor put me on estrogen at this age, but whatever.
A preventative measure.
Okay, fine. Patch me up, baby. I was like, estrogen is my adrenochrome. That's what I was telling my friends. I was like, estrogen is my adrenochrome. So I was like, Willie Nelson's turning 90. He's having a 2-night concert at the Hollywood Bowl. All of these iconic country acts were performing to honor him. And I was like, I don't know, that's expensive. I mean, it's expensive.
Well, when we first
ticket.
looked at it, it was the prices
said
were
it was like
insane.
a $600 ticket, and I was like, I laughed.
Like started at $600.
I sent it to you, and you were like,
I got so excited, and then it was like such a fast turnaround.
I was like, this is out of the question, right? And you just wrote, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, I thought so. And then I started talking to a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, my friend Julie Dove. So Julie Dove, who I'm friends with online, she knows that.
Julie.
Shout out to Julie, who's amazing at reels. If you need a reel done, she cut my reel, cut Paul's reel. Mm-hmm. She knew I was a Miranda Lambert fan. And she was in the Miranda Lambert fan club, and she got advance notice that Miranda Lambert's cookbook was coming out, and she was doing this book signing at the Barnes and Nobles at the Grove in LA. And she's like, "Do you want to go to this? I have these tickets to get this." And I was like, "Yeah." So we go, and we're standing in line to get our book signed and a picture with Miranda, which was awesome. And
it's a really good picture too. I have to say,
it's a cute picture, right?
Yeah.
And it
looks like you know each other.
We do, Paul.
Yeah. Ew, you said my
we
name.
don't know each other, but we know each other.
Do you remember? This is a quick side. This is a quick sidebar.
Me and Miranda.
But do you remember you were going through that period where you were saying my first name a lot, and it was very.
You didn't. I think it was during the
unsettling.
pandemic, right? Or was it before?
I think it was like a little post. It was really unsettling to me.
I know you got so upset about it, and then you would counter back and you'd be like, "Yeah, Janie," and I was like, "Ew, stop it!"
Right?
Ew. So, anyway, we're in line, and I had this friend from second grade who was going. She was coming in town. I knew, I hadn't seen her in since second grade or whatever. We're just friends. Anyway, so I knew people that were going to the Willie Nelson concert, to the 2 nights at Willie Nelson. And Julie Dove had tickets, and she's like, "You should totally go." And I was like, I don't know. And I guess the tickets were not that much.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not
substantially less.
They were not cheap. It was like Broadway or something.
Yeah,
it was and I was like, oh, because I went on StubHub, and I was like, do you want to go? This is okay if you don't. And you're like, no. And I'm like, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm gonna go to this concert by myself. I'm gonna go 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna do it for myself because like I had to do it. I wanted
that
to
was kind of a tiring weekend for me. And it was very tempting.
It was a last minute thing too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm about to impulse buy. I was like literally texting you. I'm like, I'm literally about to impulse buy 2 tickets for tomorrow and the next night for this like 4-hour a night concert at the Hollywood Bowl. Like, cause it was like 4 hours of music, no intermissions, you know, cause it was like act after act after act. And I was like, it's totally fine if you don't want to do it. And so I went and, then I like ran into weird people there. Like that I was like, wait, you like country music? This is so weird. But then like, because it was 2 nights in a row, like I kind of like, you kind of became friends with the people around you in the seats.
Oh, so you ran into people because it was same seats?
The same sections.
So you ran into the same people the next night?
Yes, like because we all had the same seats.
I like that.
So there was 2 nights in the same
I got it.
seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think you would have gone on explaining it if I had stopped you?
A lot longer than that. 100%. I think longer than that.
So you had your seat buddies.
So my seat buddies, and it was just funny and fun, and like it was insanely expensive at you know how the drinks, you know how like you go to Dodger Stadium and the food and their drinks are like so overpriced.
Yeah.
But the food was like so fucking good. I had like this fried chicken that was insane. It was so good. It was like this fried chicken, and it came with like a slice of cornbread with like drizzled icing on it, and like coleslaw. The food was like incredible, but it was insanely like the wine was like $15 for a glass of wine. I was like, really? I guess you can bring. You can bring stuff. Not for this concert.
Oh, really?
You could only bring food, but you were not allowed to bring alcohol.
Right.
Because it wasn't part of like the Hollywood Bowl program. It was like an outside programmer, and those were just the rules. Also, they were filming it. It looked like there were like drones and stuff and like cameras, and there were like Helen Mirren was like introducing. I don't even remember who.
Everyone loves weed and country music.
Essentially.
And no one more so than Mr. George Strait.
It was sort of like that. Like, seriously? Like, and everyone who came out like talked about the vibe in the green room.
Right.
Because like they were like, people were like getting high.
Yeah.
Because it was Willie's 90th.
Yeah,
and like, it was so crazy. And then Willie played at the end of both nights, and he's fucking 90. Sorry, I know I was just screaming in the mic. Sorry. He's fucking 90. And he's this amazing guitarist and singer, and both of his sons performed, and the one son like sounds exactly like him. It's like uncanny. And it was just amazing. Yeah. And Miranda did Mama's Don't Let Your Babies. Miranda Lambert, sorry. Miranda Lambert did Mama's Don't Let Miranda did Mama's Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, which is like a fun nod to a song that she has. It's called,
which in itself is a fun nod to Mama's Don't Let Your
because it's called If I Were a Cowboy, and then it's like whatever. Yeah. And then what it's still so funny to me, and it will always be the way. The men come out in jeans and like Jack Johnson came out in like
no jeans. Shoes.
I didn't have that.
He was famous for not wearing shoes.
He might not have had shoes. I was sitting in the back. He like comes out in a t-shirt both nights or whatever. He had a very funny song about losing money to Willie Nelson in poker. Cause they all like live in fucking mansions in Hawaii together. Do you know what I mean? And they get stoned and drunk and play poker together and just like probably like lose like legitimate big sums of money to one another. Like I'm guessing like these poker games are not like $20 buy-ins. Like they're probably like 10 grand buy-ins or something. Maybe not. I don't know what they are. But like, and like Owen. Well, I don't know. Like it was just like a lot of Hawaii. There was like the Hawaii people, the Texan people, the Nashville people. It was like that, and then celebrities like. I don't know, Jennifer Garner for some reason. It's
and you were like live texting it to me, which I really appreciated.
Oh my God.
It was fun. It was really fun.
I did, and I was like, so-and-so just came out. So I was like, it was so funny. It was crazy.
Let me tell you something. The double exclamation mark tap back got quite a workout that night.
That is true. I was actually appreciating that you were liking my live updates.
No, it was really cool.
Because also I was like, wandering around Hollywood by myself at night, like to get to a car, to get to Uber Spot. I, like the second night I left my car like in the middle because I was coming from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know. It was a little weird.
Yeah. But it made me feel connected to you in a really
It was really fun. I really thought the concert was great. It was.
I'm really glad that you.
It was a midlife crisis thing.
Why is it a midlife crisis thing?
Because who impulse buys 2 nights of expensive concert tickets? Like that's insane.
This was a very special
once in a
thing.
Lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dad was like, "You got to buy the poster." Like he was like, "Buy the poster, buy the poster," and I was like, "Okay." The fucking poster was $50. Yeah. And it was a fucking good poster,
it's a really good poster.
And I was like, all right, I'll buy the poster. My dad told me to do it. So I bought the poster. But like the poster had some acts that were not
right
on the show.
Yeah.
Because and some names were not on the poster that were on the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure like people I don't know why I'm fine that Justin Timberlake was not on the show. Like he was on the poster, but not on the show. So, okay,
But
fine.
then if they recorded it for TV, I wonder if some of those people will have been done pre-recorded things or something like that. Who knows?
I didn't think about that.
It's all I think about. Isn't that funny? It's all I think about.
I don't know, but it was so funny. Like with the strangers I was sitting with, we're like, oh my God, like Sturgill Simpson. Oh my God, George Strait. Like we were just like laughing, laughing with each other. And it was like total camaraderie. There was like a real ebullient kind of, I hate to say ebullient.
Sorry.
Whatever.
You have a college degree.
I have 2 of them. I have a bachelor's and a master's. I have a fucking master's degree. I know I'm super stupid for having a master's.
Stupid.
For having a master's.
That's not what I'm saying.
I don't care. You know what? I think education is a sham.
Agreed. All right. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, please subscribe to our freaking Substack.
Yeah.
Weekend Water. We love you. We appreciate you. We offer things we do have things behind a paywall. Most of it's free though, guys.
Yes. These episodes will always be free, but we'll offer, other things behind
bonus
the paywall.
Episodes and a really good watch. I cannot wait for this watch along.
Yes, we came up with a movie. We're going to remember to do it. We wrote it down so we won't forget. Because many times
I'm psyched about this movie.
So many times we have said, "Oh, we should do a watch along of that," and then we forget which movie it was.
Yeah.
And this time we actually made a note.
And we want to do some like bonus episodes too that are going to be behind the paywall. Sorry, guys, but. We also would love to like not be beholden to having advertisers on the main pod. Yeah. So the more like we can move to, if you can, if not, like, we do offer so much for free. It's like there's no pressure to be part of this.
We want to take care of everybody, and if you have a little extra money to throw our way, great.
Yeah, buy us a coffee one month.
Yeah, if you don't
sign up for 1 month,
we'll still give you free stuff. So don't worry about that.
Well, that's my big recommendation because. I think I'm in the middle of this book that I cannot seem to finish. Mm-hmm. It doesn't end. Mm-hmm. But my friend Joel told me it's like, I went to see my mom in South Carolina and he texted me and he was like, did you read this book called, I think it's called The Appeal? I sent it to you. Remember I said, I think you would like this book. It's called The Appeal. It was like on the New York Times bestseller, and it's like a murder mystery, but it's like an unconventional murder mystery.
I don't remember this.
And it's like kind of humorous a little bit, where it's all through emails of leading up to the murder, except like there's all these missing pieces.
Right.
So you're like reading everybody's perspectives. And because Joel was like, I wish that we could do like a reading of this or something. Because he was like, this part would be funny for you. I was like, this part would be funny for you. There's like so many things.
It sounds intriguing. I want to check it out.
And I was like, oh, I think Paul would like this. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, if I've just been like really busy, but I'm slogging through it.
Yeah.
Because like when I started it, I was like, oh, this feels like a quick read. But it might be a long book. I don't know. I read digital books, so it's hard for me to know how long.
Man, that is the thing. If you read on a digital reader, if you don't have like...
I have no idea how thick this book is.
If you don't see the percentage thing...
I have no idea.
Sometimes you have no idea.
Oh, I have literally no idea.
And sometimes the ending will sneak up on you. That happened to me recently.
Oh, totally. That happens to me with celebrity memoirs.
Yeah.
A lot. And I'm like, really, guys? You couldn't. That's it? Seriously?
Oh, follow-up recommendation. I finished The Glass Hotel.
Someone on our Substack said that they were appreciative of that recommendation.
So good. I really enjoyed it. My recommendation is I am almost through the Tom Baker era of Doctor Who. I started watching Doctor Who from the beginning, like from the 60s, because I'd never seen a lot of that stuff.
That's right. You've been watching that.
And Tom Baker was the Doctor when I was a kid, and that was my first time seeing that show. It really holds up. I'm surprised at how much I remember, like, has been imprinted in my brain of like the guest actors and the costumes and shit like that. But really great. And if you are a fan of the modern Doctor Who, if you've never seen any of the old stuff, you should definitely check it out. You can get it on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other recommendations. I don't know. Did we talk about Daisy Jones and the Six on here? Because I really enjoyed. Speaking of Amazon, I liked it.
I do want to reiterate that I have shows in Philadelphia Friday the 16th and Saturday the 17th of June.
Double cuckoo
night. What does this mean? But Friday and Saturday the 16th and 17th of June, Underground Arts on Callow Hill in Philadelphia.
2 shows a night.
2 shows a night.
So
the later shows are sold out. The early shows, there are still some tickets left. So go to paulftompkins.com/live.
Guess what? You don't even have to go there because we also link to that on our Substack page.
So true,
which
bestie.
is Weekend Water at Substack or whatever.
So true, bestie.
It's there, and it's all there. That's the bucket.
Yeah.
That's the Janie
but
and
don't
Poe.
turn it. I'm still trying to sell this show, so don't turn it back into a Substack.
But I'm saying that's where they can find your
No,
life.
I get it.
Oh,
but you're
okay.
trying to subvert my plug.
I'm sorry. I'm saying they don't have to know 2 different websites.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
You only have to know the one. The bucket website. Oh, some people have been so nice about the writer's strike, and who knows if there's going to be an actor strike or director strike.
There should be both.
Yeah,
there should be both. I think.
I have a
just
lot
quick
of-
sign off. We need to bring this down to its knees.
They were like, oh, how can we help? Just, saying nice things.
Yeah.
Liking it.
Just be aware. I mean, there's
There's nothing you can do to help.
There are funds you can donate.
But I mean, I hate like fleecing people from,
I mean, it's not fleecing people. I mean, because this is going to impact. Look, we're not writers. We don't make our living as writers.
Lose their money.
I still have the vaudeville, thank God.
Lose their apartment or something because their
this
show.
This is gonna go on for a while.
Like
and it's gonna hurt
writers'
some people.
assistants and stuff that are,
Absolutely.
So the Entertainment Community Fund is one of those.
Yes. So it's
funds.
not fleasing, but if you have money to spare and you're feeling generous, then that's something you can do.
If you have money to spare, but also just like, there's really nothing you can do to affect the negotiations, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's up to the people who decide what they want to pay their employees.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how, like if I could go to your work and ask your boss to give you a fairer raise, I would, but would he care or she care? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a funny idea, though. Interesting idea.
If I were like, hey,
Just show up.
You need to give Carl a 2% raise after 3 years.
Carl, come on, Carl. Carl deserves it.
Like, inflation, and you've been so profitable. Like, you've made so much money from Carl contributing to this company's success.
If you're a listener and your name is Carl, please get to us on the Substack. We want to hear from you. We just want to know how many Carls we have out there.
I would do it, but I just don't think it would matter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, understand. But never say that. Everything matters.
But if you do want to say negative things about Carol Lombardini online, I can't stop you.
Fuck her.
The woman leading the
who said that writers are lucky to have contracts. All right. Thank you so much for listening.
We love you guys. This is our May episode.
Yes, we're so thankful for you.
I wish we could do more because I miss doing the podcast more frequently, but Paul has other podcasts. And this is where we are. And we're going to do them when we can, and then we'll put them on the Substack.
That's exactly right. And we really appreciate you. We'll be back next month. And until then, stay safe, stay sane, and stay strong.